If you want to catch a lot of big bass consistently, you need to fish spots that hold a lot of big bass consistently. I don't think most anglers have any idea how to find those spots or what they would look like. Even if I brought them to the spot in my boat and gave them my boat and showed them on my downscan the spot, I think they'd leave the spot and go fish the shores, the banks, because that's what they've been brainwashed to do. And by the way, I'm not trying to insult anybody or say that most anglers are bad anglers. I actually think it's the opposite. I actually think most anglers are really good anglers, above average, right? Like, I watch them at my lakes. We're all throwing the same stuff, man. Like, it's all good. But if you ask these anglers, like, where could you find a spot that holds 50 to 100 pounds of bass? They'll say something like, well, you'd want to start on the main lake points, and then if that's blah, 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 you go fish humps, and then you fish ridges, and then you fish the edges of flats, or you fish creek channels, or you fish ditches, and if you're up in the shallows, you fish structure and cover, and you look for shadows, and then you assign a point system to those structures, such as wind blowing into the pocket, or grass, or bait fish, shadows, right? That's where the big bass are going to be, because that's what the bass fishing industry is saying. And they're also talking about the action of lures. Like, that is what catches a lot of big bass. The reality of big bass zones is that they can look and have absolutely nothing to do with what I mentioned. They can be on the main lake floor, right? Like, just on, and actually, and you see this is a big bass zone in Highland Lake that I have a picture of here that I'm catching. There's just a flat floor. There's no identifiable structure. There's no point. There's no hump. There's no ridge line. It's just a floor, right? There are a lot of perch there, though. And this is Highland Lake, this picture, right? And this big bass zone that I'm talking about, and it's the only one on this entire lake, is right here. This is it. And it looks nothing like what I was just talking about. Right? What does it have? It has thousands and thousands of perch. It has enough forage to sustain multiple schools of 5-pound bass. So you could go here any day of the year and fish it and have the potential to catch a 50-pound bag. I'm not saying you can do it. It's not always easy, but the bass are there. You can see them on your electronics, right? It's the only spot. I have combed every inch of this lake. This is the only spot on the lake that has grass and enough forage to support multiple schools of big bass. And if you want to find these zones, there's two things you really have to do. One is that you have to forget everything that the bass fishing community is telling you and what they're trying to make you think is the vision of catching a lot of big bass. You have to forget about all that. You have to start thinking for yourself, okay? The bass fishing industry is trying to sell you stuff, okay? Which they have to do, but they're trying to sell you stuff, right? And then the second thing you have to do, I would suggest following the bait. There has to be enough food to support multiple big bass if you want to consistently catch a lot of big bass. So if you're in the shallows, do you see enough bluegill to support the existence of 1 5-pound bass? Do you see enough bluegill to support the existence of 3 5-pound bass? Do you see any bait fish at all? Do you see anything bass can eat? If not, you might want to move on, right? And if you're fishing deeper water, it's the same thing, right? You need enough forage to support multiple schools of big bass. Is there enough perch to feed 3 schools of 10 5-pound bass? Is it there? So that would be my recommendation. Forget about the bass fishing community. Start thinking for yourself and follow the bait. Bass have to eat. Okay? Forget about what the bass fishing community is telling you should do. You dictate what the vision of catching bass, and a lot of big bass, is, and it looks absolutely nothing like the vision the bass fishing community is trying to tell you it looks like. It looks nothing like that at all. I promise. Dude, I promise. It's actually sometimes kind of boring, because it's like you find these zones and it's 3% of the lake, and to catch these bass, you're throwing a deep diving crankbait for 4 months straight every single cast. Or you're throwing a drop shot. You're drop shotting every cast for 4 months straight. And so it actually can be kind of boring. But what are you going to do? You're going to fish the shallows where like most land is developed and there are cottages on it, right? And there's sand everywhere and there's no grass, so there's no shallow water forage for bass. And also in the summer, 7 to 10 anglers have already ran down every single dock on the eastern shore by 8 a.m. Right? So it becomes a matter of luck and being the right person in line. Or are you going to spend the time on your electronics and the dedication to graph? Do you want to spend that much time graphing? You know, it's a commitment to find these zones sometimes. But I'll tell you, there's only so many times you can go fishing and not catch a lot of fish before you give up bass fishing. Right? If you go 2 years catching only 15 pounds of bass a year, you'll sell your boat real quick. So, I don't know. You need to think about it. But that's it. Hope you liked it. I hope you catch a big bass soon. Thanks.